Have you ever found yourself in the same painful place, over and over again? Different faces, different situations. But the pain, it feels exactly the same. You wonder, why does it keep happening to me? You promise yourself this time will be different. But somehow you're right back in that same emotional spiral, feeling abandoned, unworthy, or just broken. If that sounds familiar, I want you to stop scrolling and stay with me. Because this isn't just another feel-good video. This is your wake-up call. I'm about to walk you through 10 spiritual keys, not surface-level advice, but deep, soul-shifting truths that can finally help you break the cycle of emotional pain. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and give this video like if you've ever battled emotional wounds and just want peace. And make sure you watch this entire video, because somewhere between these 10 keys, you might just find the one that changes your love life forever. Let's begin. Number 1. Awareness is the doorway to healing. Let me ask you something deeply personal. Have you ever found yourself in a moment where everything just crashes, maybe after another breakup, another argument, or another lonely night, and you think, how did I end up here again? Not once, not twice, but over and over. You look around and the faces have changed. The scenery might be different, but the pain feels the same. The emptiness, the shame, the heartbreak, and yet part of you knew. You knew you ignored the red flags. You knew you were repeating the same decisions, the same behaviors, the same patterns, but you stayed, or you fought, or you hoped. And that's where the first key comes in, awareness. Because healing doesn't start with hope, it starts with honesty. There's a woman I once knew, we'll call her Jasmine. She was beautiful, kind, and full of love. But she was addicted to saving people. Every man she fell for was a project, wounded, distant, emotionally unavailable, and every time it ended in chaos. When I asked her what she was really chasing, she paused. Then she whispered, I think I'm trying to be the woman my dad always ignored. That's when she broke down. Because in that moment, Jasmine realized something most people spend a lifetime avoiding. She wasn't unlucky in love. She was unaware of the pain driving her choices. You see, awareness isn't just about noticing patterns. It's about owning them. Taking radical responsibility for how your past has shaped your present, and then deciding you don't have to keep living in that loop. That's powerful. Awareness is painful because it shatters illusions. It forces you to see where you've betrayed yourself. But it's also liberating because you can't change what you don't see. You might be carrying unhealed wounds that are silently dictating who you love, how you love, and why you settle. And until you face that, you'll just keep calling your trauma fate. So, take a moment, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, what are the patterns I keep repeating? What role do I always find myself in? What do I keep hoping people will give me that I've never truly given myself? Awareness isn't the final step, but it's the first brave one. It's the moment you stop blaming everyone else and start reclaiming your power. Number 2, understand the origin of your pain. There's a little version of you still living inside your heart. They're scared. They're confused, and they're still waiting for someone to show up and say, you're safe now. You see, the second spiritual key is this. To heal the pain, you have to understand where it came from. Let's go deeper for a minute. Imagine someone keeps touching a bruise on your body. Every time they do, you flinch. You cry out. You feel attacked. But what if they're not causing the bruise, they're just triggering one that was already there? That's how emotional pain works. You think the breakup shattered you, but really, it touched an old wound of abandonment. You think your partner's silence is killing you, but deep down, it reminds you of a parent who never truly saw you. You think your fear of rejection is about your ex, but it's really about years of never feeling like you were enough. Here's a hard truth. Most of our adult heartbreak is a reenactment of childhood wounds. We don't fall in love by accident. We fall in love with people who feel familiar, even if what's familiar is painful. Take David, for example. Every time his girlfriend didn't reply for hours, he panicked. Not because she was doing anything wrong, but because his mother used to disappear emotionally. As a child, David had to earn love by pleasing, by performing, by being good enough. And now every silence felt like punishment. When David finally made that connection, everything shifted. He stopped reacting like a scared boy and started responding like a conscious man. And that's what I want for you. Ask yourself, what did I not receive in childhood that I now seek in partners? What kind of love feels normal to me even if it hurts? Who am I still trying to prove myself to? This work isn't easy. It brings up tears, memories, and a whole lot of why me moments. But it's sacred. Because when you understand the root, you stop wasting your life cutting weeds. You start healing from below the surface. Number 3, forgive yourself first. Let's sit with this one for a minute. Because if you're watching this, there's a very real chance that you're carrying a quiet kind of shame. Maybe you stayed in a relationship where you lost yourself. Maybe you betrayed your own values to keep someone who never truly loved you. Maybe you saw the red flags and walked straight into them anyway. And now you're angry at yourself, disappointed, embarrassed. You think you should have known better. You think you were stupid. You replay conversations at night, wondering how you let it all happen. Let me stop you right there. Forgive yourself. Not when you've healed. Not when you've done 10 years of therapy. Not when you finally get it right next time. Forgive yourself now. Because here's the truth nobody talks about. We all make choices from the level of consciousness we have at the time. You did what you knew. You gave love the way you were taught. You stayed because leaving felt like dying. That doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. A woman once told me something I'll never forget. She said, "I finally forgave myself when I realized I wasn't dumb, I was just starved for affection." That hit me deep. Because so many of us weren't stupid, we were just desperate for love, validation, and belonging. And sometimes, that desperation leads us into places that our wisdom would have warned us about if only we had the space to hear it. Self-forgiveness is the bridge between pain and peace. It doesn't mean you ignore what happened. It means you hold your past self with compassion. You say, "I know you were hurting. I know you were doing your best. I'm here now.
I won't abandon you again."
You don't owe perfection to anyone. You owe yourself mercy. Number 4, create sacred space for stillness. Let me ask you something real. When was the last time you sat in silence, not scrolling, not multitasking, just being with yourself? Most people are afraid of silence, because in the silence, the truth speaks. And if we're honest, some of us would rather stay distracted than hear what our soul has been trying to say for years. But the 4th spiritual key is this. Stillness is sacred. It's the womb of healing, the temple where clarity is born. I know a man who went through back-to-back heartbreaks. After each one, he jumped into the next relationship, the next project, the next self-improvement course. But nothing changed. Finally, a mentor told him, "Stop, be still. Let the pain speak." And he did. He took a month with no dating, no social media, no numbing, just journals, nature, meditation. He told me that in that silence, he didn't just hear his pain, he heard his purpose. Stillness isn't doing nothing. It's doing the most important thing, listening. You don't have to book a silent retreat. Start small, 10 minutes a day. Breathe. Close your eyes. Ask, "What do I need to know today?" You'll be surprised what comes up. Your intuition is like a whisper. It can't compete with the noise. But once you make space for stillness, it will guide you like a compass in the dark. Number 5, detach from what you think you need. Let's talk about one of the hardest truths you'll ever face. Not everything you want is good for you. Sometimes the person you're begging to stay is the person your soul is begging you to leave. Sometimes, the love you think you need is actually the thing keeping you stuck in cycles of pain. We get attached to illusions, to the potential of people, to the story we told ourselves about how this was supposed to go. You think, if I can just make it work with him, if she would just change, if I hold on a little longer. But real healing happens when you detach from the fantasy and come home to reality. I once worked with a woman named Tasha. Her boyfriend of 3 years was emotionally unavailable, dismissive, cold. But she stayed, because when they first met, he was sweet and attentive. She clung to that version of him, even when it faded. It wasn't him she couldn't let go of. It was the hope she had built around him. When she finally left, she said something powerful. "I realized I was chasing closure from someone who was never capable of giving it." And that's when everything changed. Detachment isn't bitterness. It's not giving up. It's saying, "I love myself too much to keep begging for what should be freely given." Let go of who you thought they were. Let go of what you hoped it could be. Because sometimes, what you think you need is only a reflection of your unhealed past, not your aligned future. And when you finally let go, you create space for something real. something sacred, something that doesn't confuse your nervous system but calms it. Number 6. Surrender the need for closure. Let me ask you a question you may not want to hear. What if the closure you're waiting for is never coming? That text, that apology, that long, honest conversation where they finally admit they were wrong, and you walk away feeling seen, validated, healed. You've played it over in your mind 1,000 times, haven't you? What you'd say, what they'd say, how it would fix everything that was broken inside you. But here's the truth that no one wants to hear. Closure is an inside job. Waiting for someone else to give it to you is like standing in the rain, hoping the storm will ask for your permission before it pours. It won't. There was a man who once shared his story with me. Let's call him Marcus. He was with a woman for 5 years. They built a life together, and then one day, no warning, no explanation, she walked out, blocked him, never looked back. He was shattered, not just because she left, but because he had no why, no answers, no final conversation, nothing to make it make sense. And for a year, he waited. He couldn't move forward. He couldn't date. He couldn't sleep without replaying everything, asking, what did I do wrong? Then one day he realized something. She wasn't coming back. And even if she did, even if she gave him all the answers in the world, it still wouldn't take away the ache inside. Because the ache wasn't about her. It was about him needing himself to say, I'm allowed to let go now. You don't need their permission to heal. You don't need their words to find your peace. You don't need closure from the person who broke you. You need closure from yourself. Write that letter you'll never send. Cry that cry you've been holding in for months. Speak to your younger self and tell them, we didn't deserve that, but we survived. And now we rise. Closure doesn't always come in the form of answers. Sometimes it comes as a decision to stop looking for peace in the mouth of the person who caused your chaos. Number 7, reconnect with your inner child. There's someone inside you who's still waiting to be hugged. Someone who was once wide-eyed, tender-hearted, and deeply sensitive, until the world made them feel like too much. That someone is your inner child. And if you've been carrying emotional pain, chances are it's not just adult you who's hurting. It's the little version of you who never got what they needed. You see, the 7th key to breaking emotional pain isn't just about moving forward. It's about going back and rescuing the part of you that was left behind. I remember hearing a story about a man who kept sabotaging his relationships. He was kind, loving, but the moment someone got too close, he'd push them away. He didn't know why. Until one therapy session, he closed his eyes and saw an image. A 6-year-old boy sitting alone on a porch crying, waiting for a dad who never showed up. And just like that, everything clicked. He wasn't pushing people away because he didn't want love. He was pushing them away because he was terrified. They'd abandon him like his father did. That's how deep these wounds run. If you were made to feel like you had to earn love, prove your worth, or hide your emotions, you're probably still living by those same rules. But now as an adult, you get to do something no one else could do for that child. You get to love them, protect them, speak life into them. Take a moment and try this sometime. Sit in a quiet space. Close your eyes. Picture your younger self. What are they wearing? How do they look at you? Now say, I see you. I love you. You didn't deserve that, but I'm here now. Reconnecting with your inner child isn't just healing, it's transformational. Because when that little boy or girl finally feels safe, your adult self stops chasing safety in all the wrong places. Number 8, embrace the lessons, not the labels. Let me guess, you've called yourself names after a heartbreak, haven't you? Stupid, naive, unworthy, broken. It's okay. We all have. When someone we love doesn't love us back the way we hoped, our mind rushes to blame. And unfortunately, the easiest target is always ourselves. But here's the truth I want you to breathe in like oxygen. You are not your pain. You are not your past. You are not the one who got cheated on. You are not the one who always gets left. You are not the one who's too much or not enough. You are someone who had an experience that came with lessons, not labels. There was a woman named Aria. She used to tell herself, I'm broken. That's why no one stays. Then one day her therapist said, Aria, what if you're not broken? What if you're just growing? And that reframed everything. Instead of asking, why does this always happen to me? She started asking, what is this trying to teach me? That shift changed her life. You see, pain is a powerful teacher, but only if you're willing to learn, not label. So instead of saying, "I'm stupid for falling for him," say, "I learned to trust my gut more." "I should have known better," say, "I understand what my boundaries are now." "I'm always the one who gives too much." Say, "Next time I'll give to myself first." This is how you take your power back. You rewrite the story. You stop seeing yourself as the victim of love and start seeing yourself as the student of love. And students evolve. Students grow. Students make mistakes and keep rising. So forgive the labels. Embrace the lessons. They are what build your wisdom, your strength, and your sacred power. Number 9, surround yourself with soul-nourishing people. Let's be honest. Pain changes who you surround yourself with. Sometimes when we're hurting, we isolate. Other times, we cling to anyone who gives us even a drop of affection, even if it's toxic. But here's the truth. Healing is not just about what you let go of. It's also about what you let in. You need people who see your soul, not just your struggle. You need friends who ask how your heart is, not just what's on your to-do list. You need safe spaces, not just familiar ones. There's a reason old environments feel so sticky, because even if they're unhealthy, they're known, and the unknown, even when it's healthier, feels terrifying at first. But growth often looks like outgrowing people you once prayed would never leave. There was a man named Eli. After ending a long, emotionally draining relationship, he realized that even his friends weren't supporting his healing. They mocked therapy. They encouraged him to just move on. They told him to sleep with someone new and forget her, but he didn't want numbing. He wanted depth, so he made the hardest decision. He found new community, support groups, a spiritual coach, friends who spoke life into him instead of mocking his pain. And guess what? That was the turning point, because suddenly he wasn't healing alone. Let this be your reminder. You don't have to do this alone either. You don't need 20 friends. You just need 2 or 3 souls who truly see you, who hold your pain with tenderness, who remind you who you are when you forget. Because the people you surround yourself with either water your healing or withhold the rain. Choose wisely. Number 10, trust the divine timing of your healing. Let me end with something tender. Because I know how hard it is to hear this when your heart is heavy, but you're not late. You're not behind. You're not broken because it's taking longer than you thought. You're healing at the pace your soul can handle, and that is enough. You see, we live in a world of quick fixes. Swipe right, move on, just be positive, manifest better. But real healing, it's sacred. It's slow. It doesn't follow a timeline. It follows truth. There was a woman who used to compare her healing journey to her friends. Why is she already dating again? Why is he already married and I'm still crying? But one day she realized she wasn't on their path. She was on hers, and her path required deeper work, inner work, work that couldn't be rushed. When she stopped comparing timelines, she started trusting the process. And in that trust came peace. The 10th key is this: let your healing unfold like a sunrise, slow, beautiful, and full of grace. Some days you'll feel radiant, other days you'll collapse in tears. It's all part of it. Stop asking, when will I be over this? Start asking, what is life teaching me right now? Because healing isn't a destination. It's a daily choice. To feel, to grow, to let go. So breathe, trust, rest when you need to. You're not failing, you're unfolding. And one day you'll look back and say, that was the season I met myself. That was the season I truly came alive. And there you have it. 10 spiritual keys to break the cycle of emotional pain. Not just to feel better temporarily, but to heal deeply and love consciously. Now it's your turn. Which of these keys spoke to you the most? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your journey. And if this video resonated with your soul, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with someone who's been stuck in their pain for far too long. Healing is not a straight line, but with the right spiritual tools, you can break free and never look back. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.